Hi everybody, how you guys doing? It's Yvonne here, and today I'd like to share with you how I made this beautiful card. Beautiful card. And the recipient, the person who gives it can sign their name here. It's just such a beautiful Christmas festive card. And it has a little twist with this piece cut out. And I'm going to show you how to do this. It's very sweet, and I'm sure that anybody who receives this would be very pleased. Let me show you how I made this. To start off with, I took a piece of cardstock, size 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then I folded, well, it's by 11 1/2, folded in half, which makes it 5 1/2. I cut off 1.5 inches here. Cut 1.5 inches off the edge here, and that makes my card base. Then, in this particular case, I used some red velvet, but this one here I'm using the same paper, but I'm going to use a gold metallic background to it. And all I did was add this on to the back of my card like this as a base. And I left 1/4 inch on each side, so therefore it would be 4 by 5 1/4 or 5 1/4 by 4, whichever way you want to look at it. And then I cut off another piece of paper like this, and this is the Stampin' Up! Oh gosh, now I forget what the name of the paper is, but it's Stampin' Up! And it has all different, it has the red, it's beautiful paper with gorgeous tags too. And it's really pretty. If you'd like to have some, please contact me. I'd be more than glad to direct you on how to get some. So, all I did was cut out a piece here by 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to add this as a second layer on top of this. So this card is basically all your sayings for Christmas are right there. Like when you cut off your paper, you cut off a piece that you know will appreciate it. Like here it says, Santa's got a brand new bag. Get excited for the debut of Santa's new toy bag on December 24th. As part of this historic event, catch a glimpse of St. Nick's vintage bag used for the last 200 years on display at December 31st at the Merry Museum. And then there's a sleigh ride, old-fashioned sleigh ride. It's just such beautiful paper. Now, what I did, if I took off 1.5 inches from the front part, so that leaves me 1.5 inches, that leaves me 5 1/2, that leaves me at 4. So here I cut off the first layer at 4 by 3 3/4. So again, I add adhesive, and it's very easy to flip your piece here because there you go, because it's only 1/4 inch off on each side. And then don't forget to, if you do happen to have paper like this, make sure that you cut it on the right side so you don't have it like I cut a piece a while ago and it was like this. I wasn't thinking. So this is double-sided paper, by the way, so either side could be used. It's very classy paper. So here we are. I'm going to add this piece on here. So this is 4 by 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. So this particular piece here is 3 inches by 3 1/2 inches. Okay, am I sure on this? I'm not 100%. No, 3 1/4. This is 3 1/2. This particular piece is 3 1/2 by 3 3/4. This bottom piece is 4 by 3 3/4 by 4. Okay, you got that? 3 3/4 by 4 is the gold layer, and 3 1/2 by 3 3/4 is the top layer. Perfect. See how pretty that is? Already, it's a card could be received just like that. Now, what I did with this one is I had a Santa's face, and I just embossed it on top. But you can do whichever way you like. I have my sentiment right here, but instead of doing that, I'm going to add on a Christmas greeting, which comes from the set Greatest Part of Christmas from Stampin' Up! And it has a very Merry Christmas. But before I do that, I'm going to take my good old anti-static pad here, run it on top. Then I'm going to take my emboss and Versamark. I'm going to stamp it really nice and juicy. Then in the center here, as much as I can, excuse my head, I just have to do this in order to line it up. And I'm just going to add it on like so. And then what I did is I added some gold embossing. And this again is, I believe they still sell it. It's the gold embossing powder from Stampin' Up. And just like so. Beautiful, beautiful. When you use your embossing, it's just awesome. So I'm going to take a second to emboss this, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here, all that's left to do, look at this beautiful Christmas greeting, is I open up my vellum, and I just add a roll of adhesive on the back part. On the back part of the vellum. So not on this part here where it's written, but just on the crease right here. And then all I do at this point is just align my card like so, and I close it down and nothing shows. There's no adhesive that really shows in the back, as you can tell. I don't know if you can tell there. If it wants to focus, you can't tell anyway. It has a hard time to focus there. But you can't tell. And it's just a beautiful card. So you can tell this is, vellum was cut the same size of a card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's really, really, really simple to make. And look at the beautiful card. And when they open it up, they have this. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut out a piece. If you don't like the fact that they'd have to sign their name there, you would have to, and you could lay it on top. But I particularly like the fact that you can sign there, and then all this is left open. So this is it. This is what I wanted to show you, and I'll recap it really quick for the measurements. So this is a card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I cut off a white piece of cardstock. Then I cut off 1.5 inches from the front panel. Then I laid 2 layers on both sides right here. And I ended up adding a piece of vellum on top with embossed celebrity. Christmas greetings. Is that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Try to stay on the camera here. That's gorgeous. So this is me trying to give you guys some creative ideas to how do your cards and Christmas cards and everything else that's coming around. So have yourself a great day. And this is Yvonne signing off for now for Monday's tutorial. And I wish you all a very happy day and be happy. Life is short. Bye-bye.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here